Today we are recreating two graph animations from Box in After Effects. If you want to download all the files and fonts, the link will be in the description, and let's get started. Alright, so there's our first animation, and here's second. This one is a little bit more time consuming, but both are quite easy. So let's start with the first one. Solid, the same color as the background, and as you can see, the lines are on a different layer than the rest of animation. Let's make lines first. I think it's about 2 pixels. It does not have to be quite precise because we can adjust it right now. Alright, and since lines are not animated, then we can use a little bit of trick to make it life easier for us. Just add a repeater to transform it to 0, and let's add 2 more, which will be 5. Adjust it to make it precise. Keep in mind, if you want to learn from recreating animations, we need to keep everything as precise as we can, so we can integrate the style and the elements into our own videos. Now, the first problem, which is how do we do this rough edges style? My first idea was to add the roughen edges, but this does not work because roughen edges makes roughen edges everywhere. And as you can see in here, some of the parts of the line are straight without anything done to them. So roughen edges does not work because, as you can see, it's not the same effect. So how do we solve it? My idea was to add the turbulent noise. Actually, to showcase it better, we can duplicate that, add turbulent noise here, hide that, and let's have some fun with it. And this is what I figure out. I think it's quite similar to the original, and let's track matte it to our lines, and this is the effect we got. Let's put it to the top and compare it. Yeah, I think the effect is quite close. Alright, let's now pre-compose everything. Let's add new background layer and mask it the same as it is here. I'm putting mask over here. It looks like I'm putting mask over here, but really I'm selecting this layer. Alright, invert it, and now if we hide it, we have perfect. And if we move it, it moves the same way as the original animation, but the problem is that we have those lines on the side. So how do we solve it? We can just mask here this layer, the lines layer, a little bit wider than the top one, and let's add background. And now if you move it, not by a lot, we don't see much of the lines. And this is what we want. Alright, now let's add all the text. The closest font I could find, it's Fabrica. Font will be in the description. It's not the exact same font, but it's pretty close. Let's copy the exact same color and copy the text. Close enough. This font is the Kenak. Copy the color. Again, not the exact same font, but for me close enough. This one. And here you can copy color, or you can put it at like 30%, will be the same effect. And as we can see, the font, the size is the exact same. Here, 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 here. The font is the exact same, so we can learn it. It's good practice to copy the size and the exact same font throughout the animation, So this is what we can integrate into our own animations. Let's continue. All right. I think it looks quite decent. Let's put this at the top, compare it. Again, not the exact same font, but it's close enough. If you can find something better, of course, go for it. Pre-compose everything, and now add the graph itself. Let's copy the color. I think it's about 9 pixels, and let's copy it. All right. Let's adjust it a little bit. Stroke, round cap, and let's add round corners. I think about like 2 pixels, and the trim paths. %. F9 on. Alright, let's look at where the original graph is starting. Here. And it ends, I think, about here. And as you can notice, it's easing out at the end. So let's do something like this. Showcase it, and let's change this to about like 30% so we can showcase the difference. Yeah, close enough. Let's add this text. Alright. Add typewriter effect. And now let's see when the text is starting. It's starting right here. And it ends here. Let's compare it. Yep, looks good. And now let's make the animation. Let's make it 50% so we can showcase it. Starting point, keyframe it, move it to where the original animation is. Let's look where the animation is ending. I think here is the final keyframe. F9, ease it out. Okay, close enough. Let's now pre-compose everything. Add posterize time. About like 13, I think so. And there you have it. First animation looks pretty good. And one thing, because I've forgotten about this, here are those black lines because of the noise map. So the solution to that is to use a tint effect on this, not this, just the lines below the noise. Change black to background black, and here we get rid of that. And now let's get to the second one. This is how this looks. So since you already know how to create that text, those lines, so I'll do that and get back to you with the final blue graph. Alright, here we have everything. Here is how this looks. Let's pre-compose everything. By the way, those layers are created the same style as those. So let's pre-compose everything so it won't get in the way. And let's now create that blue graph. Let's use the shape tool, copy the color exactly, disable font, not font, stroke, and just create one as close. The problem with that, if we want to adjust the length to match the every pillar, and we do this via the size parameter, it changes from the middle. So the solution to that is to, let's copy it, put it in the next one, and take the anchor point, put it at the bottom. This way, when we unchecked the scale, then we can change height based on the scale. And this is really helpful and will save us a lot of time. Let's copy this for every pillar, make sure this looks good. Right, make sure to correct every mistake that you made. Keep in mind that I'm doing this kind of quick for the tutorial purposes, but you should really take your time with that. And for those ones, let's just select those and change the opacity to like 20. Yeah, I think 20 is good. Now let's adjust the length, the size, by adjusting the scale property. You can do this way pretty quickly. Here we have everything. Now let's look at the animation and copy the same lines that we need and make them different color. Let's highlight it to yellow, cut them down when we need to. All right. Alright, now we have duplicated the yellow lines. Let's put them on the top and change them color to yellow. And let's see how it looks. Looks good. Let's pre-compose the blue lines and then the yellow ones. Let's rename the blue lines pre-comp to blue lines and yellow lines for yellow lines. For blue lines, copy this effect, which is turbulent noise. Here are all the settings. And tint. Those are colors for the tint. And this will give rough effect as the original animation. And for the yellow line, exact same thing, just change the map to black to this gray one and map to white to yellow one, and have fun with the evolution a little bit. So this is what we have. This is how it looks. Pretty close to the original. We are almost done. Original looks like this. So we need to add a little bit of zoom effect and this line, which is quite easy. Let's do this right now. Stroke. This one. Actually, let's copy from this. Fill delete. 2 pixels, or maybe 3. Let's add the round cap and the trim paths. Animation starts here is 0. So let's change it to 0. It ends right here. Oop, this did not make a keyframe. How nice. So once again, it starts over here. 0. Let's add F9 to it, and it, as you can see, the end, it starts trimming down again. So let's add another keyframe. Start 0, and it ends here. So let's make 100. Let's see how this looks. Just a line. Pretty similar. Alright, let's just adjust the speed a little bit. Alright, let's compare it to the original. Pretty similar. Pretty close, pretty close. Let's copy the effects from the yellow lines to this one. Actually, let's copy the turbulent noise from the lines. Split in the top, and it needs a little bit more adjusting, actually. Yeah, it needs a little bit more adjusting, but it's not that bad. And yeah, let's pre-compose everything. As for scale, change the opacity to 50% so I can see it better. Match the scale. Oh, and also we can see that the background right now is showing, so we can new solid background that will be not moving, and adjust the scale. I think it stops moving around here, so let's just adjust the scale. F9, slow it down, throw it the posterize time, about like 12, and let's see how it looks. So those are the final animations. It was my first tutorial, so let me know what you think. What animations would you like me to recreate next? I'm open to all the opinions, and let me know what you guys think, and see ya in the next one.